Good morning. How we doing? Who've got it? Galactic. How's it going? Good to see you on here this morning for some guitar stuff. So I thought we'd do some pentatonic stuff, as it's a big area for me. At least we can start there and see where it leads us. And I thought maybe it could be more lick based. Could be an idea. Need to sort my hair out. All right, hippie, how you doing? I had my hair cut shorter than usual, and it's just like looks crap when I put headphones on now. Anyway, all right, yeah, okay. Plectrum, fresh plectrum, check. I'm gonna need that. So I'll just have my coffee and wait a bit for a few more people to sort of turn up. Maybe tune the guitar. So I learned a really cool pentatonic thing the other day, which I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you some economy, some hybrid picking stuff that I do when I'm doing pentatonic things as well. So there's going to be a few things we're going to cover, and then the rest of it we're just freestyling, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So 1mm Dunlop flow. I mean, it's hard. There isn't really much flex. There's not really any flex in it. A little bit. But there's there's a little bit of give. I was hurting my wrist using really, really hard picks. Mind you, having said that, I'm open to going back to really sort of like jazz threes and things like that, because like now my picking's a lot lighter. I was quite an aggressive player back then for a lot of years, and I was starting to get take a bit of damage to my wrist through using what was I using? No, my main pick was 2mm Dunlops. That's what I used to use. Yeah, triangular picks. So this pick here, right? So the idea, what's actually happening there is you've got this bevel which allows it to have string slide, so that the pick will nicely slip off the string. Like, whereas some of them will just sort of be a bit sticky when you play. So I really like that. Yeah. Sorry, up with stuff. Right. Yeah, so string slip's really important. Also pick chirp. So the other thing I found with the Dunlops, the thicker picks, is you'd have this kind of ear piercing ding kind of sound that would be in amongst your picking. So I kind of, that disappeared somewhat when I used those 1mm picks. Alright, drop it less though. I used the Dunlop nylon 0.88 to 1mm thickness. Yeah, I mean anything less than a millimeter, I'd struggle with, basically. because you start getting latency. It starts like it's not like a really accurate tool. Then it's something else. I mean, I remember Guffy Govan talking about it. You know, it'd be like having, you know, if you're writing with a pencil, if the end of the pencil was rubber, it would be like really hard to write, wouldn't it? It'd be inaccurate. And that's the same to be said for picks, really, and playing. So you need that kind of accuracy. Otherwise, like there's almost with lighter picks, like really light picks, there's like a latency, isn't there? It's like you're picking and hearing the note after, or at least you're feeling it. So, yeah. Okay, so regarding pentatonic scales, because I know a pentatonic scale is only 5 notes, but it's such a huge area for me that I've been exploring for the last however many years, 2 years, seriously. Is there anything that you want me to cover? Like, is there anything you need me to cover? Is there anything that anybody here has on their minds regarding when they're playing pentatonic scales? It doesn't have to be shredding, it could be like phrasing, it could be anything really. But is there something you're wondering about? Because the good thing about this channel is it's good to wonder, but I know a lot of the time, I mean, luckily I'm a full-time musician, but even then I'm really busy. I know, like, time's a big factor for us, isn't it? And sometimes we just want to know if something's worth doing, because we don't want to we're reluctant to invest the time in case it doesn't work, you know, but there is no time back guarantee. However, you can come here and we can explore ideas, or I may have done that idea. I've never really studied Zakk Wylde repetitive licks, but I have repetitive licks that we can do that I particularly like, so we can definitely do that. In fact, that might be a good place to start warming up. So let's have a look. All right, here we go. Repetitive licks. I'll knock a few out. All right, so I've got to do this one first because this is like quartal harmony, isn't it? But technically, it's a pentatonic scale, isn't it? So we're in the key of well, we're in the key of E minor. So something like that's quite handy, isn't it? Now, all I'm doing there is, if you think of the pentatonic scale, okay, and we take this part of it, and we miss this note, and we'll play this, so we get a 4th, and we get a 2nd. So what have I got there? I've got the 14th fret on the 3rd, 15th with my 3rd finger, and we've got the 12th on the 1st string, my 1st finger, and then a little bit of a stretch up to there to the 17th. And this is descending, so we're just sweeping. And there's the pull off, so pick, pull off, up, up. And then we do it, so that's like 4 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we do a triplet, 1, 2, 3. That's how we do it. And then you can continue that. So I really like that shape. So you just add this to the end. So 3rd finger on 14th. 2nd finger comes over, a little bit awkward. And we'll pull off to the 12th. So that kind of works, doesn't it? So I tend to go... I mean, the real crowd pleasers aren't the repetitive pentatonic licks. So I do like... I don't really do the cliched ones, okay? But I do like very sort of the Richie Kotzen type stuff. Maybe something like that could be good. So it's a really good place to start this heavy. All right, this one. There's a number of players that actually do this. So if you can imagine the top notes, we're doing that, and then we're pedaling off this. So first part of the sequence is... So that's pretty easy, isn't it? I'll just refer... So we know what the scale is. We're in E minor pentatonic. And I'll just refer to what the fingers are. So we've got 1, 3, 1. Now I like to do hybrid on this. Just makes it nice and easy. You can do picking. It's weird with picking because you've got to kind of practice it both inside and outside, haven't you? So that's the first bit. Next time we're going to roll with this third finger. So this is a little bit tricky. So that's the next bit. So we've got this. And then we could just keep going up. We could add the fourth finger. We could even get up to here. So, is that the sort of thing? So that's definitely a 2-string repetitive thing. And you could even add the 9th in. Well, that's quite nice, isn't it? We can even add... We can start doing this. That's quite good. So on this one, there's loads of variations you can have. This is barring with the fourth finger. So I'm going 1, 3, 4, bar. You can kind of move these about as well. But yeah. Alright, give me some feedback, guys. Is this what you want to hear? The other interesting thing is if we're hybrid picking, like these licks are really good. You can get them sounding really, really clean if you're using finger planting. So if you notice, the hybrid's actually already on the string, the hybrid finger. So I'm holding the first string and I'm picking, and I'm muting all the other strings with this hand. And you can get a really clean sound out of this. So as soon as I pick, the hybrid comes down. So that it's always muting the string that's going to be next. Okay. And again, we can have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you can add in this. So that's really good. So I'm just adding in. Yeah. Okay. Looks good, sounds good. Yeah, want it looking good as well, don't we? So this is all like kind of Richie Kotzen stuff, really, that I'm taking here. So, which I love using. So the next thing is that. Now all I'm doing here is, so that's nice and easy. So on the second string I'm going 1, 4, which is on the 17th, and then I'm basically barring. And you can just repeat that between those two fingers. But we can add in another note. No, my fingers got trapped underneath the strings there. All right, there we go. So that's quite a number of licks there, isn't it? So yes, looks good, sounds good. We need that, don't we? We definitely need that in our lives. I tried tuning to your guitar, but got to set up a bit more to fully play along. Right, well, yeah, just do your setup. Yeah, good. Just follow along whilst playing. I can't hybrid pick. What's a simple exercise for hybrid? Okay, yeah, so hybrid, guys, here we go. Basically, doing this lick's a good one. But basically, essentially what we're doing, like really basic hybrid picking. Well, the first thing is get this book. So I've got my essential library now of stuff, and this book's really good. So definitely get this. Honestly, this book literally saved my life because I'm dramatic. So I would say that about a guitar book. So this is Brett Garsted, Hybrid Picking, and he covers every situation, including all of your hybrid fingers, even your little one. So I tend to use like 2 and 3 not very often, but 1 all the the first hybrid picking finger, this one, all the time, but he does all of them. So there's really good like exercises in there, but essentially the first sort of exercise to get the concept going is all we're doing is you're picking down and then you hybrid. So a little exercise is just to mute the strings and to get this technique going, and you want it to feel like kind of almost like one motion. So this is with the planting, so we're picking and then hybrid, and then as soon as the pick comes down, this clamps onto the string. Now not all the time we can plant the finger, but in situations where we're doing like the Paul Gilbert thing, so that's a good place to start. That's a nice little exercise. So I'm just going 1, 3, 4. No, I can't do that. I'm just like kind of going from 1 to 8 and then to 4. So like stuff like that would be quite hard with a pick. So it's, yeah, super handy. Isn't it wild? I mean, because fundamentally I'm a bit lazy. Hybrid picking's like, you know, I'll use it all the time just to get about. Yeah, so it's kind of there when I improvise. And of course, these exercises we're doing now, these little licks. And you can do something like that with a pick, but so the picking on this, right, this particular lick that we've just been doing, so we're adding in the 3rd string. And it's an up pick, it's an up stroke. So I'm going up, down, hybrid. So there's like loads you can do with it when you start kind of using that. Just one more time slowly with that one. So the other thing that I think is really good is just when you're playing sort of pentatonic, well, any solo, it's just getting using like lots of different articulations, lots of different techniques. I think sounds good. Like, so you're using picking, legato, hybrid. You know, mixing it all together just makes things sound really, really sort of interesting. You know, so you're deploying all these techniques all the time, really. You know. So, and of course you can move these about. You know that you can move them across the strings. Oops. So something like that, you're just going. We'll just do it slowly. So the sequence. We're just repeating it every string. Or we could just do. Descending's a little bit trickier because you have to do an upstroke. So what I'm doing there is I'm going down, up, sorry, down, hybrid, down, and then it's an up. And it's kind of like upstrokes on the way up, down I should say. Yeah. So I hope that sort of. And this is all the stuff I use all the time. Right, how we're doing for time? God, it's past already. Coffee. Still waking up. Yeah, I could talk about pentatonic stuff for a lifetime, really. Seriously. Like I've become, not that I'm a master at it or anything, but I have become really obsessed with it. Right. It's tricky, that one. Where's my foot switch? Oh, there we go. So I'll just show you this descending thing as we're kind of doing that. So that kind of thing, we're doing this. So we've got a 6-note pattern there. That's pretty good. You could repeat that. But it's a descending thing, so we've got... The other reason I use hybrid as well, it cuts out a bit of the hand noise. There's less hand movement. So we're going 17, 15, 12, 1, 3, 4, sorry, 4, 3, 1, and we're on the 15th, 3, 2, 1. And I'm doing a hybrid, pull off, and then I'm going up, pull off. So the hybrid's on the first string, and there's a little mini sweep after it. So that's the thing you need to get under your fingers. It's a good workout for this first finger as well. And then all we do is we just repeat that sequence, so... And we're just diatonically going down in fourths, really, down the pentatonic scale. So that's a little bit awkward when you get these positions, because we have to kind of bunch up for that. So it's hybrid. We're going on the second string, 17 to 1, third finger on 14, second finger on 14 on the fourth string, and then pull off. And then the next one will be... hold on, which fingers would... Yeah. Yeah, this one is going to be, so on the 16, 14, 12. And I'm using fingers 4, 2, 1. And then we've got 3 on 14, 2, and then pull off. And then the last bit, we're back up to 17. And we've got this pattern. We've got 4, 2, 1, 2. And that's it. You put it all together. It's a little bit awkward to play. Just that last bit. But it's a cool one when you get it going. Okay. Could I have some more likes? I've noticed like there's not. We've only got oh god, not many people on today. I don't suppose we can have any more likes. Anyway, anybody who's new to the channel, do subscribe. Okay. Great tips. Trying to add the hybrid. Right, cool. All good. Well, creep away, some guy. That's perfectly fine. Don't mind it. All right. Yeah, it's interesting because you never know really what YouTube's up to because well, we'll see how this goes. So this morning, even though I advertised it, the numbers are quite low. But then other times, like I was experiencing this when I was doing, it's interesting, I was experiencing like lower numbers after a while when I was doing like a lot of music tech stuff. And then I switched to guitar and then the numbers went up. And then I've stayed with guitar and then I'm watching them kind of come down a bit. So I'm wondering if I'm wondering if the channel can be too educational. Yeah. Oh, my hair's just, God, come on. Right, I give up. Right. All right. Any questions so far with what we've done? Should we do something a bit more ambitious? There's one more actually. This is a really good exercise, right? And it's one I should do more because it's bringing that second finger across. But this basically. And it's a hammer-on from nowhere there, so I'll pick the first one. So bringing that second finger across, like minor thirds, can be quite important. It's quite useful. Yeah. most people are asleep, yeah. I'll be actually doing a vertical stream probably tonight for a bit, for like 40 minutes. Yeah, it's a dead easy lick, that one, to remember. So it's pick, hammer, pull off, hammer on the second string. That's really good. It's really good, that stretch. The other thing is you'll notice me move my first finger and that just releases tension out of your hand. If you're going, pressure will build in your hand and it'll hurt. So what I do is I take it off so I don't get the clashing notes as well, so keeps the lick clean. And you have to just really target the end of that second finger, hitting that 15th fret. Okay. Good day, Tim. Checking in quickly before my bedtime. Looking forward to catching up on the playback. Yeah, cool. So it is here. So I was going to do, I kind of kept it loose for, I was actually intending on doing bigger pentatonic runs today, but it doesn't matter because we'll be doing that anyway. And I've quite enjoyed doing these smaller ones. This is a good one, right? So I picked this up. This is on an Instagram. Oops. And I quite liked it because you're playing 3 notes and then 2 notes per string. Oops. So I'll just go through the sequence. So the first bit of this, okay, we're in E minor pentatonic. Right, just remind myself of it. And yeah, I haven't been, like yesterday I decided to put the live back because I woke up and I had a massive headache in the morning. I was thinking, oh God. So I just thought, you know, it's a lesson, I'll put it back. So good you're on here, Enzo. There's lots of good stuff actually you like that we've been covering. Just sort of static, repetitive pentatonic stuff. You know, usual stuff. Okay, we're doing a bigger lick now though. So this one, E minor pentatonic, 3 notes per string, and that's the first pattern. So pick, and I do hybrid. Now when we get to this bit, so we're going 1, 2, 4, and that's on the 3rd, 5th, 7th. When we come to the next string, we're going to play that pattern. So I'm just doing 1, 4, pull off, 2, 4. And we kind of repeat that all the way up after that. So after we've done, we come with the first finger here on the 7th fret of the 4th string. And we'll play 7 and then 7 on the 5th string and then hammer on the 10th. So we've got I mean, you can actually just start the lick there, it'll be easier to learn, and just put this on at the end. And then we do the same pattern here. So on the 7th fret, now on the 4th string. The 3rd string. And it just, the sequence moves up. So I'll just play it really slow, right? Even slower. So it's a good one for practicing your concertina shape. That expanding and contracting. Did everybody catch that? Cool. Right, break time. Did everybody catch that? That pentatonic lick there. Wonder if I've got something to play over an E. That's this. Right, we could try playing over this. Oh. Right. I'll do some of the repetitive licks that we did. Repetitive. So that's that big lick at the end. It's quite a good one to sort of demonstrate stuff. So yeah, that last lick that I was showing you. It's got very strong like rhythm to it, so it's quite easy to get sort of the timing right on it. It doesn't have to be a million miles an hour, and it's, you know, it sounds pretty good. Oops. How are we doing for time? Right, so what other things do I want to see? So there's a couple more to do. So I really like this kind of one. So this is you know, again bringing the second finger over the third. So you can do a lot of cool stuff, and you can get a nice clean sound on licks when you do this. So again, E minor. We've just got 4 there, and then we've got a group of 6. So 4. It's easy, isn't it? Second finger comes over, and we pick, hybrid, hammer with 3, slide, hybrid. Just get the camera so slightly adjust. Maybe there. So there's actually 2 hybrids in a row there. And then it starts over again. So, and then we've got, that's our next 6. And then we end there. So I'll play it really slowly. Right. Oh, right. Enzo's kicking into action. Pull out the big guns. So that tracks McLaughlin and Hutch. God, that's one of the first ones I wrote. Does for defending wide space riffs that you are doing, what book are you pulling those shit? I'm pulling them from my own head. So not everything is a book, Enzo. So like, yeah, my own initiative kind of comes from these. But then you find out somebody else is doing them. So yeah, things like that are just common sense stuff. And generally, like, I'll not... When I go for books, right, it's always like a concept or a method that I'll be interested in. So, like, if it's... and then I'll start just create my own patterns from that. So, like, when we're doing, 2-1-2... arpeggios, which I've known for years, then it was just like, oh, I should just apply that to pentatonic. And then you start messing with sequences. Because you don't want to play them up and down. The descending. Right. So that that's just playing sixes. But then again, Paul Gilbert did that, didn't he, with like the Colorado Bulldog thing. And then what I've done is I've just combined, I've taken part of that and then combined it with like a 3-1-3 run at the end. So and then that's like groups of 7. And again, I run up just like 3-1-3. So we're just kind of adding things together and just mathematical sequences of notes. I don't. The typos are fine. Excellent. Some music getting wrote there. I figure those are yours. I want to make you feel good, but my choppy 3 a.m. Don't worry about making me feel good. I feel good anyway. I'm not actually stupid, I promise. I struggle with comments and autocorrect. No, that's fine. That's all right. And so it's all good. I know what you mean. See, that's another really handy one I like. It's really hard to play descending. Check this out. So what I'm doing there is pentatonic again, but I'm barring. So we've got 1, 3, 4. First finger moves to 9. Pick. And then we'll pick again on the bar. And then we've got 12, 14. Again bar. Yeah, it's cool. So the other thing you've got to remember about these, just see if there's a bit of a track going. If I just go back to lock it in, right? I'll just have this running in the background, right? So, like, part of this is just getting these things to work, and I highly recommend just taking fragments of what we've been doing and then just practicing them over a track. Because at the end of the day, you've got to get it to work musically, haven't you? And then, right, so let's do this one. Whoa. So at the end of the day, we're just trying to get whatever it is we're doing working with music, so it makes sense to just practice with a backing track, and that's what I do whenever I can, because it's just far more entertaining, isn't it, than just sitting with a metronome. I mean, sometimes you have to do the metronome, but I much prefer just musically trying things out. And the other thing that you'll probably notice is that I'll start the lick and then I'll do some phrase to come out of it. So I'll just find little kind of exit licks. That kind of go with whatever it is I'm just doing. I kind of messed that end run up, didn't I? That's what I was meant to do. I've got another coffee. So, yeah, we're up to 12 minutes past 7 on the subject of pentatonic scales. What do I want to talk about? How many? I haven't counted them. There'll be millions, hundreds. And then there's like ones that I'll just have go-tos on and then forget like loads of other stuff for ages. There's like loads, isn't there? That's like, how many mathematical sequences can you think of, really? I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And it depends what we call a run, because like some of them are so mixed up with other bits of stuff, it's hard to know, really. So that's a mixture of all sorts of stuff. Sevens, Paul Gilbert thingy. Then there's a triplet thing. That's quite good, isn't it? I'm absolutely obsessed with that kind of thing now. Quite difficult, that. So there's like loads of players use this. Greg Howe, Rick Graham, he's got a thing called Show the Pinky Who's Boss, and that's kind of where that's from. Except I think he does something else in the sequence, but I just continue it. But the tricky thing is the timing, so... because we're picking Hammer from Nowhere and then a hybrid. But it's like players like, who's the other guy who'll do this? Nick Johnson. So there's like loads of like little patterns I'll stick in. I mean variations as in one position, 4 fingers, 1 string. Okay. So chromatic stuff. That's quite good. And we'll have... So it's just as many variations as you can think, really. So there's a couple. So triplets. We've got that sort of pedal kind of note thing. It's just as many combinations as you can think. That's a good one because it sounds like tapping. I use that on the Pentatonic thing. Yeah. Yeah, you got to avoid bad habits. Do you recommend John Petrucci books? Rock Discipline, Wild Stringdom, along with video developer. Right. I've never done those books. So all of the, like, my history is, like, when I was a kid, I used to be obsessed with all the REH videos. So I've done, like, tons of those. So many I've forgotten about. So there's all of that kind of thing, but I can remember being totally obsessed. There's a lot of me obsessing about things today. Definitely the first Paul Gilbert video and the Vinnie Moore ones were a big thing. Steve Morse. Who's the guy who does the pentatonic substitution? His video for the jazz stuff was quite influential. Definitely Richie Kotzon's first tutorial. These are all when I was a kid. And then apart from that, what I'll do is I'll just get interested in a particular concept now. They want to explore that. So if it's pentatonic things and I'm looking at pentatonic sort of 2-1-2 stuff, then I'll go for like Tim Miller and I'll see what he's doing. So I've ended up down the like line of fusion. Tom Quayle stuff, I find his approach, I mean, he's very sort of mechanical and technical, and I think that's amazing, but it's far too like, it's just, it kind of leaves me cold. It's too technical, but he's amazing. But the way that he teaches and the way that he breaks down concepts is great. So, like, that's been a massive help with a lot of stuff that I do. Especially, like, the enclosures and the chromatic stuff and the more theory things he does. I think it's really good. Oh, steady on. Oh. Rock Discipline is what I use in the 90s to start getting good. I mean, Thomas is amazing. I think Thomas has forgotten more than I know. maybe. Okay. No, I've never done the rock discipline thing. I think, like, I never, probably because I wasn't a massive John Petrucci fan. I only listened to the first Dream Theater album when everybody was raving about it a couple of times, and it didn't do anything for me. But what you got to remember is when that was out, I was a raver. I was listening to dance music. Rock discipline in the 90s started getting good with. I didn't even know that he had books. I knew he had videos. Enzo, can you do me a favour? Because I'm interested in seeing what those are, because a lot of people will have looked at those books, and I haven't seen them, and I think from a kind of teaching point of view, it would be good for me to, because they're obviously massively popular with sort of a generation of guitarists, so I'd be interested. Would you DM me those books? Maybe it's on like Instagram, which is where you normally DM. Oh no, sorry, who's that? That's Dorito, sorry. I need to take a screenshot of that. Sorry, I think I'm talking to Enzo when I'm not. Seriously, need to get my eyes tested here. Oh man, I can't take a screenshot on this. I'll just make a note of it. So, rock discipline. Not that's auto. This is auto correcting me. Rock disabling. No, I want this. It's my dyslexia. Right. So I tell you what. I have a problem. I'll tell you why. I have a problem with the title. Like, rock and discipline don't go together. I mean, the whole reason I did rock was to like have zero discipline. So to then rediscover it in a book would make me run a mile as a kid. Wild Stringdom, that's more like it. I mean, I have a real punk rock edge, believe it or not. I mean, come on, rock discipline. Who wants discipline, man? It also means that, like, when something's discipline, it's hard, isn't it? So, like, psychologically, you've already got a hurdle just opening the first page or putting the video on. So it relies on being a massive fan of John Petrucci to get on the other side of that. But this is why, like, you know, in the coaching program, I go to great lengths calling things games or never an exercise, and I never really go on about discipline. But what I will mention is habits. Like discipline, if you're disciplined to do something, it's like, I have to do this. I have to have the energy to get up and do it, and I can't deal with that. So what has to happen is it has to be a habit where you're doing the thing because you really want to go to it, you're interested in it, and if you're not interested in it, it's just a habit, and you're just doing it anyway. So guitars are lying about here, guitars are lying about at work. I'm just like picking stuff up, guitars and things, and playing, at worst noodling, and I don't even know that I'm doing it because the whole thing is just my whole life now is just a habit of playing guitar because I'm really into it and I'm obsessed with it. So that whole kind of obsession and then addiction, right, is and focus on process is the way into all of this, really, and just becoming good. That's like the number one thing for me, and avoiding any expectations. So forget about the future and future results, but you want to be really obsessed, you know, and really like just having a great time. You know, we can't have a great time all the time, but that's why we have a habit to back that up. I need to listen to that again. I do like his stuff, and like he was featured on this really cool band with this excellent singer, and it was all like neo soul stuff with like a 7-string. I know my eyes. Do you know what it is? I've got a prompter. It's not my eyes, but I've got a prompter that's about. My eyesight's really good. but I've got a prompter that's only about an 8-inch. It's like a small iPad size, and that's what I'm reading on. Yeah, Dad watched Albert. You see, Dad watched Albert Lee on VST, so that's cool. Right. Okay. I'm gonna check him out. Hot Licks, I think it was. All right. I'll have a look into it. I'm gonna have a look into it and see what's on Rock Discipline. But I'm not gonna conform to the discipline. I'm gonna rebel, you know. See, like Steve Jones, Sex Pistols, was like one of my idols as a kid. I used to think he was so cool. In fact, there's somewhere on the internet, there's a really good picture of me playing this gold top guitar at what was the Mayfair venue in Newcastle. And I was supporting Stiff Little Fingers. And I had, for the evening, I had this really cool top, and it was like the John Lydon straight jacket. And it was black. I loved this top, and it just had, in purple, sex written on the front. I'd never wear it now, I wouldn't get away with it. But when I was 20, it was like good. We've got a few minutes left. I'm going to a VIP meeting with intervals next week, including a sound check, Q&A, and much more. Brilliant. Well, I think the next thing for me is what I'm chewing away with is just reducing my picking motion. That's exciting. So what I need to work on, it's hard like when you're excited in the moment of a improvisational performance, but picking wise, I just need, oh god, that sounds a mess. Just really tightening up on that picking. It's better when you don't have the amp sound on, actually. It's good when I warm up. Oops. So I'm going to be working on that a bit, but slowly, and just controlling those picking motion. Get it nice and tight. There's that Spiral guy does it, doesn't he? So he'll do scales. The timing's really shit though. But I'll have that sorted by the end of the day. Whoops. Right. So I think it's now time for my walk. About 7:30. actually has some. Oh god. Right. Good exercise. Yeah, I haven't really ever got into his stuff. Gauge strings are 9s. So yeah, 9s. I love your creative exercises most of all. Thank you. Didario. Yay. Cool. Right. Anyway, so I'm off to work on my economy picking, making it even more economical. And that's all for me, folks. So a couple of video. Oh, right. We'll have to get the new Polychrome DSP amp out tomorrow. So tomorrow we're gonna do a little bit. We're gonna have a mess about with that. We'll do some geeking out on amping. So we'll get Nutcracker out. That's tomorrow's stream, Nutcrackering. And after that, I think Friday, Serum 2's out. Tim's saying okay. Alright, I'm lost. Oh, pick brand. And then the picks I like, sorry to jump about. The picks I like are the Dunlop Flows. And there's the brown one and the blue one. I use both. More on the blue side at the minute. 1mm. And the pick's 1mm. 9 to whatever's like in synchronization with the 9, so it'll be 9 to 42 for me. Serum 2's out, and if you're an owner, it's a free update. So I just download it, and there's loads of like really cool stuff on it. So what I was thinking of doing is I might just have like a blank Ableton project, pretty much, and then we'll just try and make something with just Serum. Would be good, maybe, possibly, maybe Serum and XO. We'll do that. Oh, there's Mech coming in just when I'm finishing. All right, Mech, Serum 2's out, just so you know. All right, cool. So I'm off. I'll see you tomorrow for a bit of nutcrackering. No worries. I'll see you later. Bye. Oh, where's the off button? Oh, there it is. Finish.